like to take just a second to take a moment of silence for 9/11. Yesterday, on September 11, 2001, it's crashed into the Twin Towers in New York City. So I just want to kind of sit here for just for a few seconds, just give a little bit of moment of silence. Yo, what is up, everybody? It is Presbuttons. Welcome to another episode for This Is How We Press Buttons. Whoa! I'm your host, Presbuttons, and this is the podcast you all love. So, for those of y'all who do not know what's going on, today marks 2 years of This Is How We Press Buttons, and 3 years since I actually first started this whole journey. And let me just tell y'all, it's truly been a really, really cool journey that I've been on. Back in 2022, I started doing these podcasts, and my parents were kind of strict about it and everything, and your parents don't really want you posting anything like everywhere, you know what I'm saying? But what happened, though, is that after 1 whole year, I was like, Mom, I need to publish this. I have to get this published. And my mom and dad talked, and they said, okay, you can do it. And I was so happy, so I got to publish it, and I'm so excited. So what I did is I actually spent a whole probably 45 minutes just publishing every single episode that I published. Because I had probably, I think it was 4 whole seasons I had recorded before I actually published it. And season 5 was actually the first episode where I actually published when I was actually able to publish my podcast. I had so much to publish and everything, so I'm just very, very happy that I was able to do this. And I will tell you all like how I got here and everything. But first, I just want to talk to you about a few things. Today was a Nintendo Direct, and they had several announcements that really stuck out to me. And what happened was, in the event, they had a whole bunch of amazing announcements. I didn't watch it, but there was a good bit of announcements that just kind of stuck out to me, so I'm going to kind of talk to y'all about it. But this is what they announced. So they announced the Virtual Boy. The list of classic games is growing. On February 17, 2026, the Virtual Game Boy Nintendo Classics library will be able to play on the Nintendo Switch 2 and the Nintendo Switch with a Nintendo Switch Online Plus expansion pack membership. Keep in mind, Virtual Game Boy is only in the United States and Canada. Paying Nintendo Switch members will be able to purchase the Virtual Boy for Nintendo Switch 2 and the Switch and Virtual Game Boy cardboard model. So they have a regular one and a cardboard model. Use either accessory with your system to enjoy select Virtual Boy games with 3D visuals. So Virtual Boy apparently was just some other, it was a gaming consoles. Yeah. So it sounds really cool. So the cardboard model is $25, and then the regular one is $100. Yeah, I'm excited to see what it looks like, and I actually may want to get one myself if I end up paying for the Switch. It's only $35 a year, which is not bad at all, and I think online is really worth it, especially because you're paying $60 a year for Xbox Live Gold, Xbox Live Core, while on the other hand you're paying $100. Or you're paying $20 a year for Switch. So yeah. They also announced. So I didn't tell y'all this, but I got Donkey Kong Bonanza. It's great. Love the game. And they actually announced a DLC already. The game's only been out for this month, and a few days it'd be 2 months. And we already got a DLC. I was thinking it was going to be like next year, but we already got a DLC. Donkey Kong Bonanza, King Island, and Emerald Rush. It's only $20. I'm definitely going to be getting this. It actually came out today. So, sightsee across modern take on Donkey Kong's home, packed with nostalgic views like DK's Treehouse, Gangplank, galleon, and other iconic locations. Take in-game photos, decorate DK Island, look for hidden bonus stages and the minecart tracks and jungle ruins. So you just kind of get some exclusive, so you just kind of get some more content for the game. And the game's insane. I love it. I've been playing Donkey Kong Bonanza on my Switch too, and it's been amazing. I love it a lot. And something just like Odyssey, it's truly probably one of the best Switch games I've played in a long time. And they also announced they're releasing Super Mario Galaxy and Galaxy 2 for the Switch, and it's going to be remastered and enhanced. So I might try to get those two as well if I can. Yeah. So, speaking of Mario Galaxy, we just got the teaser for the Super Mario Galaxy movie. The Super Mario Galaxy movie. This is the official title announcement. It's only 51 seconds, but we're not going to get much. But I think that this is going to give us a great little glimpse of what the movie is going to look like. My predictions were true. I knew. I think I said on my movie podcast in September. I know probably in September there's going to be a Super Mario Galaxy movie, or Super Mario Movie 2 trailer. I was right, and I was completely right. Let's check the Super Mario Bros. Movie, when that trailer came out. I feel like it did 100% came out right around the same time. Let's see, here's the teaser. It says 2 years ago. That doesn't really tell me when it came out. Yeah, it doesn't tell me, let's see, the digital trailer was released on Thursday, October 6th. So yeah, but anyway, we're gonna go ahead and play the teaser trailer for the Super Mario Bros. Movie. So I'm gonna go, the Super Mario Bros. Galaxy movie, Super Mario Galaxy movie. So we're gonna go ahead and play it. I'm super, super excited. It's only got 310 views on Illumination and 405,000 views on Nintendo. But very weird. But anyway, we're gonna go and play the trailer. I'm gonna go and share my screen so that way y'all can see this trailer. And yeah, I'm very excited to see what this trailer is going to look like. All right, so let's go. Let's check this out. Let me pause that. I gotta get my my lower quality on so that way you don't lag. All right, let's check it out. Oh, the mole rats! Hey! This is so peaceful. Holy. Oh. Hey, yo. Okay. So that's it. That's the trailer of Super Mario Galaxy. Nice little teaser intro trailer. I think that was really, really good. So I'm super, super excited. Okay. So that was the trailer. Really, really cool. They also announced Super Mario Bros. Wonder for the Switch 2, and also has the game is also going to have an expansion pack, Mario Tennis Fever, and Kirby Air Riders is officially on pre-order. So yeah. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about my podcast. I want to talk to y'all about just how did I start? How did all this just happen? How did I get on here? Everything. So probably back in, let's see, I'm trying to think what day. So 2019, my mom used to listen to this podcast called The Upside. It was The Upside with Callie and Jeff Dollar. It was a podcast that probably y'all wouldn't really necessarily be interested in, but it's a podcast where they just kind of talk about their life and everything. And they did shut down their podcast, or not shut down. They just quit their podcast back in 2023, I think, and I thought it was really, really cool. I had never really have gotten into podcasts. Like, I never really sat down and listened to one. You know, I didn't really spend a lot of time listening to podcasts. And I remember that I talked. I remember every single day I was in the car, I was listening. When my mom was taking me to school every day, we were listening to the podcast. I wasn't necessarily, 100% interested in it, but I thought it was just a little bit interesting because they kind of just talk about their life and everything. And, just at some point in life, I just thought, wouldn't it be cool if I actually started my own podcast, talking to a microphone, talk on a platform, then publish it. I thought that would be really, really cool to do. And something that I was just kind of confused about was, how in the world am I going to be able to put the podcast on, on Spotify or everything like that? Like, I didn't know how all that was actually going to work, but it actually turned out I ended up figuring out. So it was in September. It was beginning of September. I did some research. I had a teacher, and her name was Miss Cheney. I want to shout out to Miss Cheney. She was my old history teacher. She was great. And they had a podcast called "This Is How We Disney." It was a podcast. It was a podcast where they talked about Disney, their Disney family. I think they actually got rid of the podcast. I can't find it anywhere, and I wish they haven't, but I think they ended up getting rid of it, and I just find that a little bit sad because that was a podcast for me to listen to and everything. So they shut it down, and yeah. So I sat down, I talked with her, and I said, "Hey, sorry if y'all heard my phone ringing. How did you start the podcast? What program did you use to publish it and all that?" Because I was a little bit confused. She said, "Let me talk to my husband and I'll let you know." And she said, "So there is a platform called Buzzsprout." And I said, "Okay, so that'll be good." And she said the episode, or the thing, was Buzzsprout. So I went ahead and looked at it and did some research, and unfortunately, she said it was free. But I looked and it said you had to actually pay for it. So I just got a little disappointed. But anyway, I went ahead, I did my own research, found a platform, and it was called Anchor. And I knew this was going to be a good platform because it was owned by Spotify. They changed the name from Anchor to Spotify for Podcasters, and they changed it again to Spotify for Creators. So now it's called Spotify for Creators, and that's a podcast, and that's what I use to publish. So I still use it today. I use it to publish my podcast, and I use Riverside to record episodes. So it's like how you're viewing it right now, how you're listening to this podcast, how you just watch the Mario trailer. I did all that through Riverside, and to get this episode to everywhere on Spotify, Apple Music, or Apple Podcasts, whatever, it goes on. That is used Spotify for Creators. That's what I use to publish and to put my podcast out in the world. So that's basically what that is. So, yeah. So I found out about it, and on September, so I'm sure it probably was September 12th, because I remember I had to do a few takes. I think it was probably September 10th, I think, maybe. Or sorry, maybe September 11th, maybe. I don't remember. But I had to do like 3 takes, because I had to do, because there's like noise in the background. I used to have a microphone, and it wasn't the best microphone. It wasn't a great microphone. So I went ahead and so I did the podcast and everything, and that was on September 12th, and that was the first time I officially got into podcasts. So I started doing so many episodes, and a little treat is that you're gonna get to listen to a few of my episodes. Just at the beginning, I'm gonna play a few beginning things on my episodes, and with some that had special guests in it, like my friends or whoever, because it's really, really funny to hear. And yeah, I'm very, very excited. That's gonna be that. Yeah, so I just started recording, and I had so many episodes. So I had a total of 40 episodes that I had to, I think I had to go to bed. My bedtime back then was probably 10, and, or no, maybe, yeah, I think it was 10, maybe 10:30, I don't know, probably 10:30, but I think at 9:45, because I had homework and everything to do, after that, it was at night, I literally sat in my parents' bed and started uploading all these episodes one by one until it was, and I had to name them all and everything. So it took a while. I think it may have taken an hour, because I remember I was up a little bit past my bedtime, and it was pretty stressful, because I wanted all the episodes to go out on the same day. Some of them did end up publishing on the 13th, because there was just so much that I had to publish. So there was just so much for the program to get through. So yes, it was a lot. It was truly a lot of stuff for it to handle. Yeah, it was really, really cool. I really, really, really enjoy doing this, and something that I just have so many great supporters, in my family and friends, and I just really, really appreciate it. My grandfather took a little bit of time to send me a note, a text. I'm not gonna read it, because it's a text. You don't want to really reveal all your texts, but it was just a really, really thoughtful note about just congratulating me, and I just really, really appreciate it. It was a really great, you can just tell that it was a well thought out note, like truly. And I'm not saying it to be nice, I'm saying it because I truly mean it from the bottom of my heart. And, so yeah, so what we're going to do now, I'm going to go ahead and play. So that's basically how I became a podcaster. So now I've been doing all these podcasts for some amount of years, and here I am today. Still doing podcasts, sounding totally different than I would have 2 years back. Or 3 years back, sorry. So yeah, it was a lot. It was truly a lot, and I really, really enjoyed it. So yeah. Okay, so I'll go ahead and play for y'all some episodes. Not full episodes. I'm not gonna play the whole thing, just like a minute or two from some that I'll select, and yeah, so y'all get to hear some special guests, and me, because, and we sounded pretty different, and, yeah, so we're gonna go, I'm gonna go and play this. I'm gonna go and get my phone, and I'm gonna go ahead and play those. Okay, so, the first episode that I'm going to play, it is an episode it was the very first episode that premiered, very first episode I did, and I'm going to, play it for y'all today. And while I'm looking it up and getting it all going, after I started this How I Press Buttons, I thought, you know what? I think I should talk more than just video games, right? So I started talking about, I did a podcast called The Trend with Presbuttons, where I talked about, every Friday I talked about news, although that did shut down, or not shut down, it's still up, but I don't do it anymore. I do the tech podcast, Presbuttons, where I talk about technology, and I still do that today. Really, really, really enjoy it. I do the movie goer with Presbuttons, or sorry, the next watch with Presbuttons. It was called the movie goer, but now it's called the next watch. I changed the name, and I really, really enjoy that one as well. And then one more podcast I do, it's called Theme Park News with Presbuttons. And yeah, so you'll hear this podcast on all platforms, just because it's my podcast anniversary, not just for doing this podcast, this How I Press Buttons, but also a celebration for me actually starting my podcast journey 3 years ago, and then this podcast premiering 2 years ago today. So I'm going to go and play for y'all the episode. This is the very, very first episode. Y'all have every right to laugh, because it truly is insane on how different I sound, how much different I sounded back in the day. And I remember back in the OG days, I used to play the Mario theme song, and it was pretty funny. But I'm gonna go and play a little bit for y'all right now, and I'll give y'all my reactions.
Yo, what is up, my guys? Welcome to the very first episode of This Is How We Press Buttons. I'm your host, Presbuttons, and this is going to be the best podcast you've ever heard of. If you are a gamer and love to game and love video games of all kinds, then this podcast is for you.
So yes, and also something else too, I sound totally different. Sorry, I took my boom off, my little microphone cover, so the sound may be a little bit sensitive. I want to go and repeat that, so we're going to go and compare the sound back there then and it is now. Y'all just heard me. I'm just going to say that exact same thing. Yo, what is up, my guys? Welcome to the very first episode of This Is How We Press Buttons. I'm your host, Presbuttons, and this is going to be the best podcast you've ever heard of. If you are a gamer and love to game and love video games of all kinds, then this podcast is for you. I can just tell that I'm already older. I'm definitely older. Yeah, I hate to say that about myself, but I am older. And, yeah, back then I wasn't driving. Now I'm driving, which is insane. It's so weird how much time goes. So, yeah, so that was pretty fun. Pretty funny to listen to, and because I sound just totally different. And, yeah. Okay, so next we're going to be doing top 10 video games with special guest Bro. Now it's his name is Sniper Time. But, yeah, I'm very curious to see what this is going to sound like. This had my friend in it, so we're going to go and listen to this one.
Man, it is your boy, Press Buttons. Welcome back to another episode of This Is How We Press Buttons. I am your host again, Press Buttons, and this is the podcast you all love. So today we have a special guest, and also, by the way, this is episode 2. I am very, very excited to do this. I love doing this podcast stuff. And yeah, so basically, we have a special guest here today, and my special guest is Bro.
What is up, my guys?
All right, Bro, so tell us about yourself.
I like playing video games. I like playing outside, especially with my friend Press Buttons. I like playing board games like Monopoly, Spades, Hearts, Uno, all that kind of stuff. I like to play video games. We are going to talk about that a little bit more later.
But anyway, that's Bro, Sniper Time now, and he just sounds totally different. It's really, really funny to hear him, and yeah, we've been great friends for a while. We've been friends since 2019, so we've been friends for 6 years. But yeah, it's been great being friends with him, and just to hear him. I'm gonna be honest, he doesn't sound as different. I'm gonna be honest, he don't really sound as different as he does now. But yeah, I'm very, very excited to I'll have to have him back on the podcast at some point. Yeah. So next, this is probably going to be the final one. And this one has Caden in it. And if y'all don't remember, Caden was in, this is the season 1 finale. So it's season 1, episode 10. That podcast we just listened to was season 1, episode 2. So we're going to go and listen to this one. He's going to sound totally different because he sounds like a man. Like, he actually sounds more like a man now. I wish I could, y'all could listen to him now, but it's amazing to hear what he sounds like, and yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and play this for y'all. It's gonna be hilarious. Just listen to this. It's gonna be hilarious for me because y'all haven't really listened to him in a while. He hasn't been on this podcast in like probably almost a year. Actually, no, it's probably even longer than that. I think I remember the last podcast we did was we watched the Five Nights at Freddy's trailer. I think that's the last thing that I remember doing with him on this podcast. And yes, we're going to go and listen to him. It's going to be pretty hilarious. But yeah, let's go ahead and listen to this.
What is up, my guys? It is your boy, Press Buttons, guys.
Holy, it's so loud.
Season 1 episode finale, guys. I am so excited. So this is gonna be the grand finale, guys, and I wanted to save it for a very special podcast episode. And what's it called? The theme?
About them to spit it out.
What's it called? It was relevant to this podcast, guys. But I need a little bit of help. So I want to introduce you. I've been mentioning him a lot on my podcast that he's a loser. I'm just kidding. And that guy is Aiden.
I still feel very offended by that joke.
Holy.
I'm just kidding. All right. So tell us a little bit about yourself. Not your top 10.
So basically, very lazy, obviously.
Obviously.
Sit on my bed 24/7.
Holy. He sounds so different. And I'm actually going to a party tonight with him, and yeah. He lives in my neighborhood, so I literally can just walk right to his house, walk right to a party. Like, holy, he sounds so different. That is hilarious. I mean, that's crazy just to know how far time has gone. Yeah, that's just absolutely amazing. Yeah, so the last podcast that got published was season 5 premiere, and it got published on September 12th, 2023 at 11:01 p.m. Eastern. So right an hour before September 13th. But yeah, that's just some flashbacks for y'all. I know the one with Kanan may not sound as hilarious because, of course, he hasn't been on this podcast in a while, but we need to get him back. He needs to come back. And but yeah, listen, y'all. I just want to say for all podcasts, not just this How Presents, but for all my podcasts I do, I just want to say thank y'all for support. And I just really, really, you just don't know how much I appreciate all the support that y'all have given me over these last few years. And it's been a really, really cool journey going with y'all as I explore podcasting, and I've explored it all. And I think it's just really, really fun to do this stuff. And I will definitely be continuing to enjoy this. And I just enjoy podcasting. It's just a huge hobby that I've gotten into. My hobbies are video games, technology, and podcasting. That's like my 3 biggest hobbies or interests. I mean, hobbies like hanging out with friends, but what I should say is interests. Is what I should say. But yeah, it's just truly been an amazing journey that I've gotten to go on with y'all, and I just really, really appreciate everybody for being on this podcast and being on this journey with me as I've taken a step further into my life to see what podcasting is all about. And it's just something that I've just found a huge joy in doing. So I just want to say thank you all very, very much for all this great support that you've given me, and just thank y'all. Like, seriously, like, you truly don't know how much I appreciate everything that y'all have done. All the comments, all the follows, all the ratings. Everybody has just been so nice, and I just really, like I've already said, I just really appreciate everybody's support. And yeah, like, I'm just looking at my stats right now. I've reached 2,163 people. This is from August 12th through September 10th. I've interested 91 people, and I've consumed 23 people. So I've just gotten so many people to follow me and everything, and I just really, really appreciate, once again, for all of y'all that have been supporting me. And I just really, really hope that y'all just continue to follow me. I just really, really appreciate everything that y'all have done for me. And I can't wait to continue doing this podcast and continuing this journey along the road. And, but yeah, that's going to be it for today, everybody. Thank y'all so much for listening to this How We Press Buttons or any other podcast that you've been listening to this episode on. I just really, really appreciate everybody's support. And I just hope that y'all keep listening and also follow your dreams, because I feel I can just kind of tell that one day this podcast is going to take off. And seriously. And, just make sure to follow your dreams. Thank y'all, everybody, so much for everything that y'all have done. Thank you for all the support, guys. I really, really appreciate it, y'all. All right, have a great day, everybody. Peace out, y'all. Bye-bye.